What's up, movie cheers, Schmoedown fans? It's me again. I'm back with another Schmoedown reaction, and this time I actually did a change of clothes because now it's Eric Whiteley versus John Hoey in a Star Wars match. It's the Dungeon versus the Quirky Mercs, and I am a Quirky Mercs fan, even though I have both the hoodies, and I always like to represent at least one of the factions that are playing. Right now, I'm going with the faction that I'm much bigger fan of, which is the Quirky Mercs. So, yeah, that's the reason for the quick change of hoodie. I'm still recording this on the same night that I recorded the other two matches. Just this time, I'm much more of a representative. In any case, yeah, Eric Whiteley versus John Hoey. Don't really know much about either one of them, but I do know my Star Wars, and I do know that as far as Star Wars performances, I have been done poorly this season so far. I haven't actually been up to snuff as far as what I can do, my skills, and I want to do better than that. I want to do better in this match, and hopefully I can actually get some good, correct questions correctly in this match. So, yeah. Star Wars, Eric Whiteley versus John Hoey. Here we go. Oh, great. This guy again. Have to sit through one of his...
Paul, prime time! How are you, man?
Yeah, what did you want to talk about?
Look, this is going to be hard for you to hear, but you're probably the only person who'll understand what I'm saying right now. Winston, he's not right for us. You and I are stone cold in this game. We need our edge. We have the killer instinct, and that is how both of us became champions in the first place. But Winston is this tether that is binding us to the ground and not letting us reach our full potential. You beat Bibiani all on your own, and then Winston got involved in the team's match, and you got stuck with Lon and everything, and you got TKO'd by two people you've actually beat in singles competition. Even though you played great. We need a change from all this, Paul.
Yeah, that's you got me at an interesting time in my career, I think.
That's great. So me, you, and Laura are the faction's power players right now. And you are Swag's only chance at a singles title or a team's title. And you can do that all with the manager that I have locked in. We need the old Oyama back that tore through Brendan Meyer, Chance Ellison, Liz Shannon Miller, that took the belt away from Dan Murrell, that defended it against Jeff Snyder. We need that old Oyama. The one who didn't care about what the locker room thought about him, the one who didn't care about what Jen Sturger thought about him. That Paul Oyama can be back, and he can be a champion again if he joins us.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting you mentioned Laura. It feels like we're the only three people who really have it together in the faction right now. And yeah, in the off season, Winston was telling me Lon was going to take this seriously, and he comes out and plays like that. Yeah, I think it might be time. It should be prime time. It shouldn't be this spread out against the faction. I think it should be prime time.
Yes! Yes, Paul, yes! This is why you're going to be champion. You have the killer instinct, and you understand strategy. You know how to steer things to make it work for you. And that's why our new faction with the new manager will be champions.
So what do we got to do? Like, how does this whole thing work? What's our move?
Now, we need Winston to resign. And the only way it'll work is if we blindside him. He has no idea any of this is coming. He has no idea Laura and I and you now are teaming up and asking him to step down, and he has no idea that a new manager will take over. So, what you need to do is just join us in blindsiding him, and we'll start a new age for our faction, new version of Swag.
Yeah, just one thing real quick. Give me a second.
No!
Paul?
It's about time we got back in the saddle. Set your clock.
Yes!
welcome back to the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. I'm Christian Harloff, joined as always by Mark Baby Carrots Ellis. Mark, the Star Wars division, as we have said, has heated up before the season even started with all the drafting of all the new rookies. But then you look at what that championship match was just a few weeks ago with Andrew DiMolanta becoming the new Movie Trivia Schmoedown Star Wars champion, and you look at the competition that is out there already. We've seen competitors like Lacey Gillerin and Marie Wilson and Gold Leader and all of these competitors that are coming in here, and we have 2 more new Star Wars rookies coming in today. John Crash Hoey from the Resistance broadcast, speaking of Lacey Gillerin, and from Blind Wave, Eric the Knight Whiteley. 2 very highly anticipated Star Wars rookies. What are you expecting to see here today, pal?
I expect to see fireworks, Christian, because if nothing else, I think that match, that legendary already match between Damon and DiMolanta only solidified every new Star Wars competitor's desire to be underneath that white-hot spotlight, because you see 5150, you see the kinds of questions that those 2 gentlemen were answering. You and I get intimidated asking the questions. I have not seen fear. I have not seen hesitation. I have not seen anything but cockiness when it comes to every other Star Wars competitor watching these matches and say, yeah, I crushed it. I did great during that match. But now 2 rookies get their chance to prove it underneath the, well, not whitest hottest spotlights. That would be a 5-rounder going into overtime, multiple questions. But it's going to be pretty steamy in here today.
It is. And the other thing, though, Mark, you got 2 factions that both hold championships, right? You have the Dungeon, who currently holds the Inner Geekdom champion, Mark Knopik, who I'm sure the Star Wars has been trading back and forth with John Hoey. And then you have Eric Whiteley, who's been training with the champion, with Andrew DiMolanta. And you look at, and what I really like about both these competitors is how invested they have been in their factions and in their divisions, because you look at the tweets when the match was happening and what Eric Whiteley was doing and what John was doing, and these guys are ready to go. And they're both, I mean, you even looked at their reactions in the draft, and they were excited to go. And there's that obviously that scene, and we knew what the Blind Wave audience, they were ready. They were ready. Who's going to take them? Who's going to take them? And finally, when Coy took him, the chat exploded, and it was a great reaction with Eric when he was on his couch, and he's like, "Oh, get the marks!" And it's the same thing with Hoey. So these guys are excited. I get excited when guys like this play, because who's our next star? Who's our next person? Because it doesn't matter if you win or lose. It's to be cliche, it's how you play the game, and we're going to see exactly what these 2 rookies bring here today.
Yeah, Christian, and I think that the Star Wars universe may be trying to take a page out of the Schmoedown book, because as we continue to expand the cast of characters that you see in the Star Wars part of the Schmoedown galaxy, maybe Star Wars is like, hey, you know what? We got our Skywalkers. Let's go to other places now. We're going to go to some other places right now, thanks to Nerd Chronic, who's had an incredible job cutting a promo between 2 not unknowns to the world. They're very popular broadcasters, but in the Schmoedown, it's all new to them. Let's see what's cooking.
I'm so excited for this one because I was really afraid this guy would go in the first round. It is, of course, Mr. Eric Whiteley.
Woo! Working works.
Well, I know the chat has probably exploded at this point.
What do you have Eric Whiteley's nickname? Eric the Knight Whiteley.
The Knight. The Knight. I am vengeance. I am the Knight. I am Batman. Star Wars.
Today, the Star Wars division changes, because today, a rookie that's about to become a champion plays his very first match.
A lot of my fans have been saying, you need to be in the Mercs.
He said your name early, and you're a rookie. Isn't that going to make you worry about what you're going to do in this division? What if you embarrass yourself? Ha! I embarrass myself every single week on my channel. I am so down to Schmoedown.
I have a really good feeling about this.
John Hoey, you're a big wrestling guy. You got a big brain and a big attitude, and we've been looking at you. We want you in the dungeon, kid.
Hello, I'm Johnny Crash Hoey, representing the ultimate power in the universe, the dungeon.
You know, the Mercs have only beaten the dungeon in teams, so I think it's fitting I get the drop. Johnny Crash on ya. Wear a helmet, Whiteley. It's gonna get bumpy.
Being the underdog, I like people not knowing where I'm coming from, and then you get cracked in the jaw in the 12th round and you hit the mat. Now, I have a big chip on my shoulder, but I'm also here to inject some fun into this Star Wars division, and I can't think of anything more fun than beating the quirky mercs in my first match here.
Looking at the knowledge base of the Star Wars competitors, and it is vast. It is awesome. And some people might look at that and say, that's too much for me. I'm scared. But me, it just makes me hungry.
To be honest, I drafted him right after DiMolanta for a reason, because I've got a Star Wars champion in Andrew DiMolanta, and I'm about to have another one in Eric Whiteley. He comes with an army for a reason.
Eric Whiteley? Hard not to hear about him.
Now, you have a big following, Whiteley. There's no doubt about that. Well, here's a problem. Hype time's over. Your cheerleaders can't save you. It's just us now.
Eric Whiteley, walking around the Schmoedown looking like a substitute teacher. You're going against the dungeon. That means you're going up against winners.
Now, under a poised banner, I've just been sharpening my sword, okay? Sharpening the sword of the hot, fiery passion of Star Wars into cold, hard Star Wars facts. You ask me the question, I'll do my best.
Nothing will make me happier than to hear every single one of your goody two-shoe fans crying out in terror and be suddenly silenced when I destroy you with the power of the dark side.
A little bit of advice for you, John. When you go into a match against the Knight, just remember the words of General Leia Organa. Hope is like the sun. If you only believe in it when you see it, you're never gonna make it through the night. This is where the fun begins.
Flying is for droids! Well, these two look exciting.
All right, thank you to Nerd Chronic once again. You look, and by the way, Nerd Chronic responsible for me having the introduction to Eric Whiteley and bringing him in, and because I had a conversation with Eric and we were talking about it, and he was excited to learn more about it, and you could tell that he is invested. He is ready to go, and the same could be said for John, who I've known for years also inside of the Star Wars community. So these guys know this world. They know Star Wars. So this is going to be, as you saw in the promo, they're ready to go, and they're ready to add 3 more points to their faction. The Mercs could use it. The Dungeon certainly wants a couple more to build up on their prowess. So let's see what happens.
How do you have all these friends? Like, I'm just like the Mandalorian. It's just me and the child dog, and we just travel the wilderness by ourselves. You just know everyone. Did they all go to Florida State?
I know them, but they like you more. So let's go. Let's go. To the next. So here, yeah, perfect. All right. So now, ladies and gentlemen, before we get to it, just a reminder. Obviously, today we have a massive match tonight with Kevin Goodenough Smith. You talk about the Mercs. Well, they're back again tonight on our pay-per-view. Kevin Goodenough Smith going up against sassy Stacey Howard of The Usual Suspects. That happens tonight. And in the main event for the Movie Trivia Schmoedown Championship of the World, they're going at it again. Adam the Coyote Collins, 7-0, looking to become the first competitor ever to go 8 straight victories without a loss. But in order to do it, he's got to beat the man he took the title from at the Spectacular, 4-time Movie Trivia Schmoedown champion, Dangerous Dan Murrell, the #1 contender. Can he do it for a 5th time? Find out tonight. The Schmoedownlive.com, or if you are a patron, become a patron today. The Patreon is patreon.com/Schmoedown. Sign up today.
It's going to get pretty messy.
Mark, all right, we're ready to get going. Are you ready?
Yeah, well done. Everybody likes you, just not as much as me.
True. I'm not arguing with that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's
time
for the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. 3 rounds in the Star Wars division. Introducing first. Representing the Dungeon.
Well,
his Schmoedown debut. John Crash.
Hoey.
Crash it is good to see you. I know you've been waiting. I know you have been licking your chops to get into the Schmoedown arena. How's it been? How's it going? And what's it been like working with the dungeon?
The dungeon, we have attitude, but it is a family like none other, and everyone's pulling in the same direction, and I could not be more prepared. I couldn't imagine being this prepared, and I'm so fired up to be representing Kaiser and the whole crew, and we have a lot of talent in there that really helped get me ready for this.
Well, John, you're coming into this, and I see your hat. I dare say that's not an Ole Miss or UNLV hat, that is, in fact, referring to the Rebels from a galaxy far, far away. They put the Empire on notice. So how are you going to put the Schmoedown on notice here today? Is winning enough, or does it have to be a blowout, knockdown, drag-out, slobber knocker, possibly a TKO here?
A win will be enough. I kind of came into this looking for a statement, not a manifesto. And I've been laying in the weeds because I'm letting other people do the talking on all the shows, on the stereos, on the fan podcasts, on the draft night. I know I'm not the most popular person in this match, but I think when we come out of it, I think people are going to know me a little better. That's for sure.
Well, before we let you go here, bring in your opponent. Speaking of that popular opponent here with Eric the Knight Whiteley, he does have a legion of fans behind him here. And does that get into your psyche at all? Does that get into you, as you know, because he's a popular guy. He's a good guy. Not one of these guys that's talking smack, but he's a guy that wants to come in here and show what he's worth. So what's the preparation for going against the Knight?
Yeah, I mean, you have to leave all those people at the wayside when you enter the ring. So they can't save him. It's just us now.
Fair enough. Good words there from Crash. All right, thank you, Crash. And his opponent. Representing the Quirky Mercs. Making his Schmoedown debut. He is Eric the Knight. Whiteley! Eric the Knight Whiteley. Dude, listen, like I had said up top, man, I know that when we first spoke all those months ago and you were excited about trying to figure out kind of first what is the Schmoedown, but now that you have become more accustomed to it, getting part of a faction, how's it changed since we spoke all those months ago?
Oh man, it has been a journey. I've been checking out all the previous matches, but man, that match, the championship match with Demolanta and Damon, I got so fired up watching it. Just seeing those two guys head to head,
home or is
question, and I just
a random
marveled
story
at what
he
they
happens
were
to
doing, and it
be
made me
in.
so hungry to get into this first match.
Look at that!
Checking out the Schmoedown has been awesome. So many
Looks
of
like a
my
museum.
fans over the years that I've done, reactions to Star Wars, and I throw out a little trivia thing. They say, you should be on the Schmoedown. You should be on the Schmoedown. Well, I'm here on the Schmoedown.
Yes, Sir Knight Whiteley, let me ask you this, because rookies come into the Schmoedown and they're hungry for that first victory, but you enter with the reputation of a prize fighter with the gigantic entourage supporting you, and you look at your background, it appears that all that memorabilia is probably worth about 38 million Republic credits. So how do you live up to the hype against a very, if not as well known as you, at least popular in Star Wars circles opponent?
Well, I've been doing YouTube for a while now, and I cut my teeth doing lightsaber fights and the lightsaber choreography competition that's been running for about 20 years. I started doing that, and hey, I won it twice. So now, going from Star Wars lightsaber choreography to Star Wars trivia, I'm about to dominate the entire Star Wars fandom.
My last question for you here, Eric, before we get this match started. John Hoey and the Dungeon. Obviously, the Dungeon has been making some waves, but with that match you mentioned with Demolanta picking up those points, the Mercs are starting to fight back. So how does it get into your mind at all when you think about that, picking up more points? Do you get excited? Like, how do you feel kind of going up against the Dungeon and knowing this is your first match and it's worth a big 3 points?
Well, Coy being who he is has really welcomed me into the Mercs. And at first, I wasn't really sure what the team dynamic would be. But there's been just such welcoming, Demolanta and me going after each other in these mock matches. And Bibbs being like the best teammate I've ever been. What a resource. I'm just super excited to get started and to see what all my studying these last couple months can reap.
All right, Mark, our competitors have entered the virtual battlefield. How does the rules of number 1. How do they go?
Yeah, Christian, go ahead and add Whiteley to that list of people Bibiani sent soap before myself. In round at number 1, 10 questions from 10 different corners of Star Wars know-how. Normal matches have 8. We love Star Wars. 2 questions more. Each one's worth a point. No penalty for missing a question. There is no stealing in round number 1 anyway. As soon as we ask the question, you have 15 seconds to not only think the correct answer, but write it down in time. Once we ask you by name or nickname, please show what you wrote to your camera. At the same time, you verbalize your attempt into the microphone. You each have 3 usages of the JTE rule throughout the duration of the match. Name for famous Tusken Raider JTE. Not sure you heard a question right. Want to buy yourself another 15 seconds? Use a JTE rule. You also each have 1 challenge you may utilize at any point throughout the 3-round match. And boy, aren't your managers frothing at the mouth for you to play that card. We'll bring them in. We can all delineate, and they will ultimately confirm and ratify that said challenge is taking place. Christian, the 2 competitors look pretty locked in. I'd say it's about time to get this thing going. Why don't we hear from your throat one more time?
Eric, are you ready?
Oh, I'm so ready.
John, are you ready?
Wife and kids are at the in-laws. Told the dog to stay off the Roku. I'm ready.
Then let's get ready to Schmoedown! Round number 1. Question number 1. We're going to start with Revenge of the Sith. Palpatine says to Anakin, remember back to your early teachings. All who gain power are what?
2 guys who know lightsabers. Christian, what's your favorite lightsaber?
Hard not to go with Mauls, even though...
All right.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, please. And Eric.
Afraid of losing it.
To lose it.
That's right. John?
Afraid to lose it.
1 point apiece as we get to question
counts.
number 2. Good start from the Rooks.
I'll let you know if it's true when I get any power. Your next question. In The Force Awakens, and for a point, who says to Han Solo, your game is old, there's no one in the galaxy left for you to swindle?
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Not sure the spelling
Pens down,
is correct,
and John?
but Balatik.
Balatik.
Yes,
Yeah,
and Eric.
T-E-E.
Balatik.
Tie game 2-2 as we
But I
get
did
to
get
our next
Balatik
question.
correct.
Question
That's the
3
guy that
from The
looks like
Empire
Mark
Strikes Back.
Ellis.
Yoda tells Luke that he's been training Jedi for how many years?
Christian, take a letter. Dear PJ Campbell, I know what you did with that last question. I know what you did.
He's chuckling to himself. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, please. And Eric.
800
years.
Yes, John.
Yes.
800 years.
3-3. And we get to our 4th question.
It's about as long as we've been doing the Schmoedown. Hey, partner. Your next query is in the category of the Phantom Menace. And the question, Lewis McLeod voiced what character in the Phantom Menace? It's MacLeod.
The Star Wars division is just so deep right now. 5, 4.
Repeat that.
First one.
All right, and your repeat for a point. In the category of the Phantom Menace, Lewis McLeod voiced what character in the Phantom Menace? McLeod spelled MacLeod.
I'm not too confident with my answer, but
I didn't think I looked that much like
There's
Balatik,
another
and
one I
then
could
everybody
be
in our row at The Force Awakens thought it was
thinking
me.
of, but
Yeah,
I'm sticking
you do.
to it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, hands up, gentlemen. And we start with John.
Ben Quaternaros?
That's incorrect. And Eric?
I put Watto.
Also.
Looking for Sebulba.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Sebulba.
And I didn't write it down.
All right, here we go. Here's the,
Damn
here's
it.
the next question.
I knew
All right,
it, but I didn't
here
write
is the
it.
next question. Question
Damn it.
number 5. Return of the Jedi. In Return of the Jedi, who does Admiral Akbar turn the presentation over to as the rebels prepare their Death Star assault?
You know, Christian, you can try to go up with your tenor all you want. I like the way you asked that question. Like, it was fun, but these fellas have their game faces on now.
So far, only missing one so far. 5, 4, 3,
Same.
2, 1. Pens down, please. Hands up. And Eric.
I love him and his fake beard, General Crix Maydeen.
Okay,
Yes.
I went with Mon
And
Mothma.
John.
Crix Maydeen.
We are
I
tied up
thought there was
4-4. 4-4. And we get to our next question,
I
Mark.
thought there was
This
another
is
one
question
before Mon
number 6.
Mothma, but
It's a
I
cute
went with
baby.
Mon.
Let's name it Crix. Your next question is in the category of Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Who says its power to create problems has certainly been confirmed? A city destroyed, an Imperial
It was
facility
seriously openly attacked. Woo. Oops. Damn it, I'm a mess.
It's like I just become as much of a fan as anything else, just like wondering like who's gonna get
Stay
it.
on target,
5,
Christian.
4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, hands up, please. And we start with John.
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader.
That's it. Eric.
Darth Vader.
5-5. And our next question is question 7. That's from The Rise of Skywalker. What is the name of the Trodomo? No way I said that right. Trodatome, male mechanic, who accompanies Poe, Finn, and Chewie to the Sinter Glacier colony in the opening of the film. Trodomo.
I'm going to go with Trodatome.
Or that's even fine. Trodatome. Who knows what it is? Either way, I don't know what it is. Thanks a lot, PJ. Scumbag. 5, 4,
Hey, you already got
3,
me.
2, 1. Pens down, please. And we start with Eric.
Tentacles?
Claude.
You are right. And Eric.
I'm John, but I'll go with Claude.
Perfect. Thank you, Eric John. All right, here we go.
Eric
Next
John.
question. Next question.
All right. Our two competitors gained a point each. Christian Harloff losing 2 points with that last question.
Yep.
And we move on to Attack of the Clones, Episode 2. Who
Attack of the
greets
Writers.
Anakin? Excuse me?
Attack of the Writers.
Who greets Anakin and Obi-Wan when they exit the elevator on their way to meet Padme at the beginning of the film? Christian, all
Yes.
over the place this match.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. 100%.
Hard not to root for both these fellas.
It's true. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, please. And John.
Mr. So excited to
Jar Jar
see
Binks.
you, Mr. Jar Jar
Yes, Eric.
Binks.
Misa Jar Jar Binks.
And we have a tie game, 7-7. Very, very impressive
I
start
need to
here
work
by
on my
both
spelling on
Eric
Star
and John.
Wars
And here
characters.
is our next question. Our next question is question 9. That's mixed bag. In what film in the franchise will you find the line, "Confronting fear is the destiny of a Jedi"? Your destiny.
I like the writers throwing a couple curveballs here. You expect just that Nolan Ryan heat, but they're putting some Oral Hershiser on this.
Minus that one question so far. Great. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, please. And Eric.
The Last Jedi.
It's incorrect.
I went
And
with
John.
The Rise of Skywalker.
The Rise of Skywalker.
That's correct.
Couldn't
John
write it
takes
in
the lead
time.
here, 8-7.
Wasn't the
Big
correct
point
answer,
there for
though,
John as
so-
we get to our next question. Here is the final question around number 1, Mark.
It's in Star Wars Episode 4. What is it? That's not the question. The answer is A New Hope. And for a point, Han says blank and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster at your side, kid. Need you fellas to fill in said blank.
Can I get a repeat?
First one.
You certainly may. In the category of A New Hope, Han says blank and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster at your side, kid.
Very tight game here so far. As we see 8-7, John up by 1. As
Not
we
sure
get to
if
the
I
count here.
disagree with Mr. Sowell.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. And John.
Hokey religions
religions.
and ancient
Yes,
weapons
Eric.
are no match for a good blaster by his
Hokey
sidekick.
religions.
So we see a 1 point lead by John and the dungeon as we get to round number 2. Mark, what are the rules of round number 2?
The rules of round number 2
Give me a second
help
as
us
I go look for
introduce
my-
the wheel round, a fan favorite,
thing.
because it is the virtual wheel. Each of you get a spin at it. Once you settle on a category, 5 questions of Star Wars know-how in that particular realm lurk in front of you. Each question is worth 2 points. There's no penalty for missing a question, but stealing is available in round number 2. So if you're not sure of the answer, you can ask us for multiple choice. Give you 4 options, one of which is the correct answer. At that point, the value of the question recedes to 1. Tied ballgame for a long time, Christian, and then John Hoey exceeds by 1 his opponent. So, Sir Hoey, it is up to you. Do you want to spin that wheel first with your mind or defer to your bearded opponent?
I will let my bearded opponent go first.
Oh, he's got a comb, Christian. Look out. He's got a beard comb.
That's a real beard. That's no Crix Madine beard.
All right, Coy, 60 seconds starting now.
So I know a thing or two about like Star Wars competitors, and I gotta say, you are playing like a Star Wars champion, which I this year know a thing or two about. Incredible, sir. Like I'm so proud. Seeing that work is why you were so early in the draft, why I was afraid of losing you. We're only down by 1 point. That is a steal. That is getting something right. We wanted to go first. He didn't know that, and here we are about to go first. Where's your headspace? How's this first game for you?
Yeah, I was just hoping that I wouldn't miss every question, so I'm feeling pretty good.
I would have missed every question and gotten the other guy's name wrong like Christian. So it would have been a -2 situation, which is where we were for a while, the Mercs -1. I feel very confident about this. We like the wheel. We like where we're going. I really loved how you used that JTE, by the way, to like double check your math. You knew it, but then you like did the math out. So we've got 2 JTEs left. Go into this just as calm and controlled because it's our game to win. 1 point means nothing at this point. Let's dive in. It's ours.
Let's do it.
Here is the spin by Eric.
Round and round that wheel goes. And it is Whiteley's first spin at a Schmoedown wheel. Luckily, it's a lot of Star
And it's a spinner's choice!
All right, so spinner's choice. It lands on spinner's choice. Big spin there for Eric. All right, guys, so 60 seconds to decide what you want starting now.
I mean, this is how you get that 1 point and then some points. It's not like there's anything on this that isn't a spinner's choice because you know Star Wars an insane amount. What is the most comfortable? What's your favorite? Just go with your gut. What does your gut say about spinner's choice here?
I got to go with the one that started it all in 1977, A New Hope.
I think that's the right move. I think that's the right move for a number of reasons, but I don't want to say them in case it leads to any steals from someone else. But know that your instinct is right where I was going with it, and also I like living in those movies for a lot of reasons. Remember to slow down if you need it. Remember 2 JTEs. It is really ours, and even the wheel knows this is your rookie
5
debut
seconds.
with a win. It's yours. Let's get it.
All right, our competitors are back, and now we're going to get to 5 questions in the realm of A New Hope. All right, Eric, are you ready?
I'm ready.
In A New Hope, Imperial stormtroopers generally use what standard issue blaster?
A Blastech E11 blaster rifle.
That is correct for 2 points. All right, question 2. In A New Hope, as the film begins, C-3PO mentions that if they are caught, they will be sent to what type of mines or smashed into who knows what?
Spice mines?
I'm going to go multiple choice.
Okay. Is it A, iron mines, B, droid mines, C, Kyber mines, D, spice mines?
No way it's Kyber, it's
D,
spice,
spice
mines.
Correct for 1 more point.
When
Here
in
is
doubt,
question 3.
always go for spice!
Who
in the
comes
Star
up
Wars
with
universe.
the idea to use a metal pole to brace the converging trash compactor walls on the Death Star?
Princess Leia.
It was
Organa.
Leia, but
That's
she
correct.
needed
2 more
Han's
points.
help. So it was
All right,
Leia.
here's question number 4. In A New Hope, Darth Vader thinks that Leia must have hidden the plans in the escape pod and says to send a what to retrieve them?
Multiple choice.
Is it A, detachment, B, scavengers, C, stormtroopers, D, bounty hunters?
A.
Stormtrooper.
A, detachment is correct for 1 more point.
A detachment
And
of
your final
stormtroopers. I don't know. Yeah,
Here it is.
it's a confusing
Who
question.
confronts Han in Docking Bay 94 about his debt over a spice run gone wrong?
Jabba the Hutt.
Jabba the Hutt.
For 2 more points. All right, so Whiteley does good. He only has to go to multiple choice twice and sees himself 16-9 over Crash. All right, so Kaiser is here. Kaiser, you got 60 seconds to talk to John starting now.
Fun fact. You know, Coy and Eric Whiteley first met at Abilene Christian University. They both serve as adjunct professors of applied idiocracy. You didn't know that, did you, Mark?
Who's Eric Whiteley?
Trust it.
The good news is they can take a long sabbatical and try and collect themselves after we kick their can in today. Hoey, you're playing great. Let me tell you something. He didn't go perfect in round 2, but you know who's going to go perfect in round 2? You. You check down if you have to. You know what I mean? You check down if you have to, but you know, look, we know you're right. We prepared you for we prepared you for this. Mind your training. Take a breath. You got 2 JTEs left.
Yep.
It's your game, brother. Let's spin this wheel and see how we do.
Thanks, Kaiser.
So the wheel is up. Crash with the spin.
All right. See if he gets as lucky as his opponent with the very first inaugural Schmoedown spin.
Wheels are rolling.
Return of the Jedi.
And Christian.
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
All right, 60 seconds to decide, starting now.
I mean, we like Jedi.
We like Jedi.
We like Jedi.
I don't know, though.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you could clean up this category, but I mean, you got to weigh it against getting some of the other ones that, you know, maybe you'd prefer not to take today.
I'll do Return of the Jedi.
I think it's a good one.
I don't want to upset Mark too. That's a big thing for me. So,
thank you, John.
All right,
converted. Listen, he's right. I used to think New Hope. The guy swayed me. You know what I mean? He's right. Jedi's the best.
All right, so you're gonna get 5 questions in the realm of Return of the Jedi. Mark.
That's right. 3rd movie in order of release, 6th episode, and I just watched it on TNT not too long ago. So 5 questions total in Return of the Jedi. And here's your first question for 2 points, unless you need multiple choice. What is the name of the Rancor Keeper at Jabba's palace?
Malakili.
Malakili.
A very emotional Malakili in that film. That is correct for 2
that is
points.
true.
And Hoey off to a good start in his round featuring episode 6 questions. Here's the next one. How does Han Solo tell Chewbacca to fly their stolen shuttle so as to not attract attention?
I don't know. Fly casual.
Fly casual it is. And that is another 2 points in Hoey's corner. Your third question. In Return of the Jedi, when Luke's hologram first appears, how does he refer to Jabba?
Exalted One.
Oh.
He greets him with that turn of phrase, and that is another correct answer right off the bat. 6 points so far for Hoey in this round, and he's looking to take the lead here. Your penultimate question. In Return of the Jedi, how much does Jabba end up paying Bausch for Chewbacca?
35,000.
You'd be going for a lot more in the world of crypto these days. That is correct. 2 more points, Christian, and looking to cap off a perfect round number 2 is John Hoey. His movie category, Return of the Jedi. Here's the final question. Palpatine tells Luke, if you will not be turned, you will be what?
Destroyed.
Destroyed.
Jedi.
That is a correct quote, Christian, and that is a perfect round and is impressive.
It's hard to know
as
because
Eric was, John
as soon as
fires
he
right
says that,
back
he
and is taking a
activates
lead
the
into
Force
round
lightning,
3.
so it's hard
Very,
to hear
very impressive
whatever it is
by
he's
Crash
saying.
as he sees
But
himself with a
it's
3-point
destroyed.
lead now over the Knight. And now we get to round number 3. Mark, what are the rules?
It's like Return of the Jedi brings nothing but happiness. In round number 3, this is the round that will determine the match, unless we go to sudden death overtime, which has happened once or twice in Star Wars matches recently. Your first question is worth 2 points. Your next one's worth 3 points. Your final question is worth 5 huge points. How do we get those questions? Well, you help us generate them by giving us a series of numbers. We need 3 integers from each of you. These numerals may range from 1 to 20. You may not pick the same numbers as your opponent because each one corresponds to a unique category where we get the question from. JTEs, challenges still apply in this round. There is no penalty for missing a question, and there is no thievery in round number 3. Christian, it all comes down to this.
All right, so we ask John, your numbers, please.
2, 7, and 8.
2, 7, and 8 for John, and for Eric.
4, 5, and 15.
4, 5, and 15. All right. You got 60 seconds starting now.
You're muted, Kaiser.
Oh, no, he's muted, Christian. Is this going to eat into his time?
Let's start.
I said, Mark, the Topo Chico is pouring in the dungeon, okay? Perfect round. We're wearing our Smasher green. We cleaned up, brother. I like how you did out there. I like how
Thanks,
you did.
man. Thanks. Yeah.
Baby, this is your round. This is your game. Play it smooth. Wipe it clean. New game. Round 3 is a new game, brother. I feel like this is your day, brother. I'm proud of you. Let's go get some.
Thanks, Kaiser. Enjoy the drink.
One last thing. I'm a big fan of Whiteley's work. I see him on the Gordon Fish Sticks box every time I'm at the supermarket. Big fan.
All right, thank you. We're going to remove you, thank God. All right, 60 seconds to talk to Eric starting now.
All right, man. You know this game. I really loved how you just, even a little bit of second guessing, went to multiple choice. That's how that round is done. Now this round, it's all knowledge, and that is where you shine. We're only 3 points behind. That is nothing. That is a question. That is the second of these questions. I feel really confident. How are you?
I feel good, and I have a hankering for fish sticks.
They sound great. I could go to like some tater tots too.
Yeah.
I think after all this, we get some fish sticks and tater tots.
Absolutely. That's what we're going to do.
Let's win and then pass through COVID and then get tater tots.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's dance.
Thank you. So we are ready to get going. Third round is about to begin, and we start with Eric. And Eric, you chose category number 4. Category number 4, that's The Empire Strikes Back. In The Empire Strikes Back, who says that they ran into a bounty hunter at Ord Mantell in The Empire Strikes Back?
Han Solo.
Han Solo.
Correct, for 2 points. All right, so now, in order to avoid the TKO, Eric needs to hit this 3-pointer. If he hits it, bounces back to Crash, and we now go to category number 5. That's going to take us to The Force Awakens. All right, here you go. Name the Resistance pilot that ran an off-screen reconnaissance mission over Starkiller Base.
Temmin Snap Wexley.
That is correct.
That's
and
right.
the TKO has been avoided, and we now see ourselves 21 to 19.
Good character, by the
We
way.
can tie it up here, Mark, with his 2-pointer, which is
Tim and
category number 2.
That's right. He's looking for the bank shot here for 2, and your category, Mr. Hoey Crash, planets and locations.
It's a tough one.
And here it is. For 2 points to tie. How does the Emperor refer to Endor's forest moon?
Wait, what? What?
Five, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat that.
Second one.
All right, categories, planets, and locations. The question, how does the Emperor refer to Endor's forest moon?
It doesn't sound like a 2-pointer to me.
The Sanctuary Moon.
Took a lot of thinking, but it got him to a tied ball game again. Christian, it bounces back to Whiteley for the most important question of his career.
Actually, Mark, we're going to stick with John Hoey here, who's got his 3-point opportunity, and
Don't
we're
wanna
going to
repeat
give
of what
John
happened in
his
the pay-per-view,
3-point question,
just
which
saying.
is going to be category 7.
Sounds fair to me because it's in the category of, you remember this movie, Return of the Jedi. And for 3 points and the lead to definitely send it back, what does Yoda admit that he is not strong enough to prevent?
Stop Luke from going to face Vader?
Dying.
Yeah, he was kicking the bucket there. He couldn't stop it, Christian. Sad moment, but a happy one for John Hoey because now he has a 3-point lead, and now we get to that important question.
All right. For your 5-point question, Eric, in the realm of The Last Jedi. In The Last Jedi, what is the name of the individual on Canto Bight that told Finn and Rose not to park their spaceship on the beach and then reported them to the Canto Bight police?
This again! First the parking ticket, not the guy that actually says it!
Slow Din Low.
And your winner, ladies and gentlemen, John Crash Hoey. A heartbreaker here, as the answer was slow in low, slow in low, no D, slow. So unbelievable, heartbreaking loss there by Whiteley, but Crash takes the victory. Big win by the Dungeon there. 3 points to the Dungeon and to Crash. All right, guys, we're going to let you celebrate in just a moment here, as you will be talking to
nice win, baby.
Heartbreaker has it, as the rules of the game state. You got to get that name right. That's not as necessarily the benefit of the doubt. It's a Lena Headey situation here. So he just misses.
Jackie Earl
it broke my
Haley.
heart with that one letter off. Almost had it, but John Crash Hoey taking a big victory there, and 3 points for the Dungeon.
Yeah, my mind was in the galaxy far, far away, where if you ask who's the hero of the original trilogy, and somebody says it's Luke Skywalker, thinking of the Arizona coach, and it's like, oh, it's that close. But
right there,
it's the razor's edge here, especially in the Star Wars part of the Schmoedown galaxy, Christian, because we've seen championship matches go to overtime. We've seen so many great rookies, like the two that we had competing here today, in a marvelous match, and it's just, that is how cutthroat it has become. And so John Hoey with an incredible victory over a very game Eric Whiteley. We have not heard the last of him by any stretch of the imagination, but it is Hoey's victory today, and Crash gets in the win column for his faction.
Well, speaking of Crash, he is standing by with Jen Sturger and his manager, Kaiser.
Whew. It's always an interesting scenario when I end up in the winner's circle with you, Kaiser. But I have to say, well, first of all,
darkness, my old friend.
First of all, congratulations. It looks like you picked a hell of a rookie. Congratulations on your first victory here with us, Crash. But Kaiser, I gotta say, you are proving yourself more and more as a manager this year and being a force when it comes to actually knowing the content itself. I'm like, are you like a secret hidden weapon we just didn't know existed? Are you a secret Star Wars mark? That's what I'm asking.
I'm telling you this, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I've never been so reinvested in the franchise as I am this year. You don't hang out with Parker and Mara and Molly and Hoey and Wit and just not pick this up. We have a really deep Star Wars team, and I try to hang out in as many of those sessions as possible, and I do pick things up. And of course, I've got my training materials. I've been watching the movies more and more. So look, it comes down, it's not about me, it's about Crash. I mean, early on in the season, you know, Robert Parker and I got together, and he said, Parker's like, have you seen this Hoey kid? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, he wiped the table with some Barstool guys. I think we should get on the phone with him. We got on the phone. He was a huge wrestling fan. I said, it feels like this kid's been here 5 seasons. He doesn't feel like a rookie. We love his attitude. We love his dedication. Tough loss for Whiteley. Whiteley is obviously a force to be reckoned with. I mean, he was nailing questions. He never let up. And much respect, Coy's always got his guys trained up. Hell, he's got the Star Wars champion of the world, so you know his boys are trained up. So to beat him today, it was close. But hey, Jen, you know sports, man. Sometimes it comes down to one play, a 1 second thing, and we got the win today. So props to Hoey.
Absolutely. And Crash, it's I've got to say, you played that game like an absolute veteran. It's like, how did you prepare for this match? Because let's face it, this is a tough place to walk into with the level of Star Wars knowledge that's going on here. I mean, to me, when I'm watching it, even as well versed as I feel like I am, sometimes I swear you guys are speaking a different language.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like you saw, it comes down to that these alien names and stuff, and those letters matter a lot because it's a difference of winning and losing sometimes. But yeah, the whole team, and you know, from Smets just teaching me how to just center myself and be part of the game and become one with the Force, and our Star Wars team, like Kaiser just said, you couldn't put it any better, between Molly, Wit, Parker, Mara, and just everyone on that team. Like, we have legends of this game on the team, and even if it's just something like Dan Murrell doing his Watto impression to cool me down, it's a family. And if you haven't heard it, check it out, because he could replace Andy Seacombe any day of the week. But it's a family in the dungeon. And Kaiser,
worry about it. You know, you're still very good at the Star Wars
We called him worse, actually.
He is the man, and we do have big attitudes in the dungeon, but we also have big hearts, and it's a family there. And I think our results have been showing that this year, and I'm honored to be a part of it. And aside from my family support and friends, little Curly and Spike Dice for luck, and away I go.
Very nice. You know, Kaiser, a lot of people at the beginning of this season, you know, they thought you were going to be at a huge deficit losing Smasher the way you did. But I mean, how much of a role is he playing behind the scenes? Because look, you've never looked this strong last season in terms of the nerd knowledge going on. And I'm like, so how much of it is Smasher working with your guys behind the scenes, and how big of a part is he still of the dungeon?
I'm gonna have to give the floor to Hoey on this one. I know they did a little training before the match, so maybe, you know, let a player answer this question.
Yeah, Kevin is like our Obi-Wan in the Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. He's not always there, but he's always in your ear and in your mind and in our hearts. And he comes in when he can, and he always gives, like, you listen when he talks. So he's like our Obi-Wan for that sort of stuff. So he's certainly a big part of what got me prepared to do this, including the rest of the team down in the dungeon.
But listen, so you got this win under your belt. You know, that's gonna definitely boost your confidence in this division. So what's next?
Yeah, that's the thing. So I wanted to come in and make a statement, because I saw people get drafted before me that I obliterated last summer on their own home turf, and that's fine. And I kind of laid in the weeds, and I got drafted 7th, and Kaiser was smart enough to see the talent there and pick me up there. But, you know, Tom Brady was drafted late too. And let's not forget about stuff like that. So
he's doing all right for himself.
He's doing okay. Yeah. I mean, he's 68 years old, still winning Super Bowls. So good for him. But
shut your mouth. As a Tampa fan, shut your mouth. Anyway, reel him in, okay?
Also, kid, in the famous words of Han Solo, don't get cocky. You still got work to do. But we love what you did today. Yeah. Jen, we will be seeing you again in the winner's circle. Get used to seeing me and Hoey, and I'll be singing you a new song next time, other than Simon and Garfunkel.
Sounds great. I can't wait. Congratulations.
Maybe some
Kaiser.
Skinner. I don't know, a Zeppelin tune. I'll have something ready for you.
Please no. Back to the desk.
All right. So obviously, John Hoey, very, very excited, as he should be. He's right. He got drafted a little later, but he showed why he should be here. He knew how to play the game. Played it very well, and he beat a very game opponent with Eric the Knight Whiteley. When you look at that, it does remind me of the Lena Headey, John Roca one so long ago when that happened, but it's heartbreaking. And I'm very, very curious to see how, because we know that Whiteley's coming right back for the tournament. He's going to be right back. He's got a tough opponent in Thomas Harper that he's playing here, but it's going to be it's still, nonetheless, he gets another shot quicker than the guy who just won here with John Hoey. So I'm curious how he's feeling. I'm curious what Coy, and I'm curious kind of what they're going to be doing on the kind of comeback here.
Christian, it's just the narrowest of margins, like we've said. And so are you able to pick yourself up by the bootstraps and put yourself back on that horse or bantha or dewback or whatever they have in a galaxy far, far away, and keep charging forward? Because like you said, there's no rest for the weary. But we're going to check in right now with Mr. Whiteley the Knight and Jen Sturger. Jen, I imagine even in a loss, Coy and Eric feeling pretty good about their performance.
How could you not?
Guys, I know that's not the way you wanted this to go down at the very end, but I will say this, Eric. What just happened to you essentially has happened to all the great legends of this game. We might as well call it the John Roca rule at this point. So if that's any indication, you've got a very bright future in this league.
Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad that I can be part of such a prestigious club.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Tell me what was going through your head, though, when they started saying, and you're a winner, and then you saw your face leave the screen.
Yeah, I think I knew exactly what happened. I just, I was going through a whole bunch of things in my head with that character. The cool thing about that character's species, the Abonetto, is that all of their characters are named after Beastie Boys songs.
Mm-hmm.
So you have Elo Assy and it's Hello Nasty. And then I was like, oh, Slow and No. And I just kind of set it out there. And I'm like, I got to make sure I enunciate. And that's what got me.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yep.
Look, you're the guy that everyone was so excited to see play this season, to get drafted. I remember during the draft, the entire chat was just blowing up with Eric Whiteley. And I was like, who is this guy? And Jesus, where did all these people come from that are just chanting him on? I'm like, you have that much hype behind you. So I guarantee this is definitely not the last time we've seen you. Coy, you've got to be pretty pleased with the way your rookie played today, all things considering.
I mean, today's the reason why he had that following. Today he showed the reason why those people were all coming in droves and droves, and I had to stop the live. I can't remember. Like, I get overwhelmed and forget my name. Like, it happens. This guy remembered that it was a Beastie Boys named character from a species where they all were, and then it was a matter of enunciation. It was a, if this wasn't Star Wars, or if this had happened in another round, it wouldn't have happened. If this was round 2, he would have seen it on the board and he would have known. If this was round 1, it could have been a matter of just how he this was a one-of-one scenario where it went down, and who knows if he would have gotten the 5. And also, congrats to Hoey. That was a hell of a debut for a rookie, but I don't see us losing to him again, and I don't see Eric losing again, period. The way he played the game, the way he knew to use JTEs, the way he navigated those multiple choice. I saw a couple of those he even knew he just used multiple choice to double-check himself. He was constantly just double-checking himself and powering through, so he's going to run this tournament. He's gotten the first match under his belt. He's handled himself and showed he knows the knowledge, and today he showed he knows the game as well as the Star Wars knowledge, so this guy's a force to be reckoned with. I can't wait to see Whiteley versus DiMolanta, and I'm going to have a New York Bibbs versus Kid match on my hands, and the Kid lost his first match too. This guy is going to be the Kid of Star Wars. This guy is going to show everyone why I got him so quickly in the draft, and this guy is going to show why he comes with an army, and I couldn't be prouder. Like, honestly, straight up, like, other than us not going on to play again with a win, this is exactly what I hope for, and when we get the win in the tournament, it's going to taste even sweeter.
How much caffeine did you have today, Coy?
I
Jesus.
am made of cold brew. I just bought a car, and on the way there, I was like going to Dunks, and I was like, I'm going to treat myself. And then I bought 3 because there was a sale. So too many cars.
We're muting you now, Coy. I need to talk to your player. Anyways, Eric, let's shift to the tournament for a minute. You have a very hyped opponent in Thomas Harper. Any thoughts going into this tourney?
Before I played this match here, I remember seeing Thomas Harper on an after show saying, like, Eric Whiteley, he has a mountain to climb. He's kind of the casual trivia guy, big Star Wars fan, but maybe doesn't know the details. Well, you know what? A month ago, I wouldn't have been able to answer 75% of those questions. What am I going to be answering a month from now? All the questions.
I love it. I love that kind of enthusiasm, and that's exactly why Coy picked you up. Am I wrong?
That's how we played today. Again, like, every moment there was a slight pause. I wasn't concerned, and that was a really cool feeling as someone that didn't know.
Coy loves to talk, doesn't
someone
he?
That was confused about, like, I couldn't have argued anything, but then to trust that he knew it or to trust that he was processing. The cool thing about rookies is you don't know what their game tape looks like. It's a new world for them. So to see him do as well with gameplay as with knowledge, and I keep bringing that up because that's what I was so impressed by. I kept leaning back and being like, everything we've worked on in training, every conversation we've had before this match, everything that we had to navigate as manager and faction member was on the books today. So it was a matter of a syllable. And I know that won't happen again. So I'm more confident than I was when I drafted him first. Like, he was my number 1 Star Wars guy after the champion. I put him 4th. Like, he was literally the 5th of overall anything. That's a concerning moment for a rookie. Like, I can't imagine the pressure on Eric. I drafted the champion, and then it went around again, and I drafted Eric as a rookie. So the pressure was on him today. And the fact that he didn't slip, he didn't make any silly errors, the fact that he showed all of his Star Wars knowledge. As a manager, I'm just really proud. And honestly, Star Wars is this year. Like, look at what the Schmoedown has become this year. It might be war, but that's really just Star Wars. It's just in parentheses. This is a really Star Wars heavy year, and if he's playing like that, man, we're going to look great at the end of the season with all those points Whiteley's getting us.
You're going down a Schmoeminati rabbit hole with that connection there.
It's
you
the
made
third
Coy.
coffee. It's just putting dots together.
So Eric, there's always that feeling after your first match that ends in a loss that it goes one of two ways. It's either not sure this is for me, or, oh my God, that was a blast. Let's do this again. I want more. I'm guessing with you, it's the latter.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've had a lot of fun just deep diving into Star Wars, and there's no way that's gonna stop now. Can't wait to do more. I mean, it's just like Jabba in his palace whenever he's like, "Oh, play that one again," and then the band just goes crazy, and Droopy McCool is going crazy on that flute. I'm ready to play some flute.
I love it. I love it so
casual
much.
name drops don't make sense to my brain. I'm like trying to scroll through even the scene. You're like, this guy's name, this guy's name. This is why he's here.
Lay off the Red Bull, okay, Koi? Anyways.
Dunkin' Donuts is delicious. It's how you survive a pandemic, is just a straight drip of dunks.
God, mute him. Anyways, I'm so sorry about the loss today, guys, but we'll be seeing you again very soon.
Great work, Eric.
This loss brought to you by the letter D.
Back to the desk.
Well, look, he's taking it with a sense of humor, and we love to see that here. Obviously, great performance by both John Hoey and Eric here. Eric Whiteley really showing that both of these guys, the knowledge that they had, and he made a great point there too, that he's been doing some deep dives since he was drafted, and there was a lot of recall, a lot of stuff that he was able to get, and even in that round 2 where he went to multiple choice, he still got it right. But John Hoey just was able to stay calm, and and even when he uses JT, he's able to pull the answer. They played both very well for rookies. John Hoey today edging it out, taking that victory, and picking up a big 3 points for the dungeon.
Yeah, Christian, you go back to round number 2, and you see that John Hoey spun Return of the Jedi. Him and Kaiser, they had a little bit of deliberation as to whether to take the greatest Star Wars movie of all time or spin again. He ended up sticking with it, had a perfect round number 2, and right there is your difference. But to echo Sir Whiteley, it just came down to the letter D, or maybe the amount of D&D that Coy Jandrew ingested. I guess that's Dunkin' Donuts Dungeons. There's a lot of D's going on around here, but we have some big energy talking about all these matches that are coming up, Christian. It's a full slate for us here at the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. So much excitement in every one of these Inner Geekdom, Star Wars teams, and of course singles.
And here are the standings as they stand today.
Wow, the dungeon is looking scary.
Those are the standings, but going into tonight's pay-per-view, it is all on the line. The Mercs have an opportunity to pick up 2 more big points tonight. As Kevin Goodenough Smith goes up against Sassy Stacy Howard in the undercard of tonight's pay-per-view. And the dungeon has an opportunity to pick up not only 7 big points, but to get another title in their faction, where Dangerous Dan Murrell, the 4-time champion, looks to become a 5-time champion. But in order to do it, he has to beat the undefeated Movie Trivia Schmoedown champion of the world, last year's rookie sensation, Adam the Coyote Collins, tonight. The Schmoedownlive.com, patreon.com/Schmoedown. Get your tickets today. Mark?
Yeah, I got to go change wigs for my pay-per-view look. And in the meantime, Christian, I'm just going to be reflecting on what a competitive match this was. Star Wars, it's going like gangbusters. As many planets exist in that galaxy, that's how many stars we have in our little Star Wars universe down here on Earth. Fun one, partner. Always happy to call with you, my man.
Same here. Thank you to Mark Ellis. Thank you to Eric and John, Coy, Kaiser, the whole Sky Brown crew, and of course, Jen Sturgeon. Thank you guys so very much. Our writing crew, we thank you. And we will see you guys tonight. Get over there as soon as possible. Subscribe if it's your first time here. And we will see you. Thank you very much to Mark Ellis. See you next time.
Oh, Grace. Oh.
Hey, Grace, how are you?
Well, hey, stranger. So good to see the beautiful face of my commissioner. How have you been?
It's so good to see you too. I'm good. I'm hanging in there. Doing the best I can, obviously. How are you?
I know, I'm doing well. I know. Oh my gosh, I know that everything with COVID really threw off everything that you were wanting to do last year.
Yeah.
And really killing the whole commissioner thing, and I really appreciate that. I know you had a lot of ideas for this year. It's so good to finally connect with you.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so glad that you bring that up because I really did. You know, I planned out a lot of stuff that I really wanted to try in 2020, but I still think that, you know, going forward this year, we can maybe implement some of those ideas and some of those plans as well.
Yeah, well, actually, and I apologize for interrupting you. I did actually, you know, along those lines, I actually did wanted to bring up something to you, if you don't mind.
Of course.
I saw a certain video message that you had sent Mark Riley, actually wishing him luck on a match. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, like, you know, Riley and I, aside from the Schmoedown, we go way back with movie talk and nightmares and all of that, and obviously we were partners. And I know he's kind of been having a little bit of a tough time within the league, and you know, so I wanted to just send him a quick little note with some positive words and, you know, some encouragement.
Yeah, and I mean, we all need that, and I love that. I love the sentiment behind that. However, I do just want to bring up the fact that I really, you know, when I think about what I value in a commissioner, I really think about neutrality, almost like a judge. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
Just really not choosing sides, like not really rooting for any player over another. So I actually got to say, I didn't love that because I think as commish, you really have to be completely neutral on the sidelines. Do you know what I mean when I say that?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm usually pretty neutral in general. I don't really think that, you know, sending Riley a good luck message kind of counts as like being impartial, you know? I mean, Christian's never brought it up to me either. So I'm sorry, this is all news to me.
Sure. And yeah, and I realize that Christian has really been mismanaging for a long time now, so I'm not surprised that he hasn't brought this up. So I adore you. We also go way back, so I'm not trying to rain on any parade right here. But I do just have to give you a little bit of some bad news because actually going forward, this actually does violate the rules of commissioner. So I'm actually going to be having you move away from commissioner, and
sorry, excuse me, I'm not trying to interrupt you, Grace, but what are you talking about? Like, I can be more cautious going forward. Like, this is so not a big deal, and respectfully, I have a contract, so I know what my contract says, and I don't even think that you can make that kind of a decision.
Right. No, and I love that you brought up the contract. Thank you for reminding me of that because I've actually looked at your contract and actually I'm able to move you wherever I'd like within the confines of that contract. So I think you're going to love this. I'm going to actually be moving you from commissioner onto the desk.
I don't think that that's such a great idea. I don't think that that's a really good idea. So
I hear you and I totally understand where you're coming from. But I wasn't sure if you were aware, I'm actually the president now. And so I do get final say in this.
Okay, Grace. Okay. I'll take the desk.
I love it.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Grace.
So good chatting with you. Oh, God, it's too easy. I love this.
Damn, she's really burning a lot of bridges. Like, however many bridges were still left unburned, she's burning them up right now. Anyways, I got 13 questions correctly in that match, which is great for me because it's an improvement, a huge improvement over my last couple of Star Wars matches, and I love seeing those kind of numbers. And even then, a couple of other questions that were asked during this match were questions that I sort of knew the answer, but went in a different direction and got it wrong, so it could have been as high as 15 questions correctly. Who knows? But yeah, I'm happy that I got myself back to a place where I can answer above 10 or 11 questions in a Star Wars match. And I'm happy with my performance today. But again, I mean, to lose the way that Eric Whiteley just did on a syllable, on one letter, it just goes to show you that in Star Wars especially, one letter does make the difference. And, yeah, I mean, I'm assuming he's going to talk about this with Dimolanta. I mean, Dimolanta has lost certain matches in a very similar fashion, and yeah, this kind of stuff does happen in Star Wars, and at the very least, it didn't cost him. They didn't lose on a TKO and lost a point. That's the best thing to take away from this match. In any case, yeah, I mean, not much else to say about this match, so I'll leave you with that for now. So thank you all for watching if you have, and I'll see you on next time on the Schmoedown reaction, which will most likely be the pay-per-view, which I will now need to find a good time to watch and record a live reaction to it. So see you then. Until then, everybody, Schmoedown! Hello again, everybody. I really hope you enjoyed this video, because I really enjoyed making it. So, if you like what you've seen here, please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more awesome content like this. So, until next time, guys, I'll see you guys next time.